Okay, good evening. It is December 24th, Christmas Eve here in the U.S. and in Minneapolis. It's been a really mild winter, so we're having a really mild winter here. I'm not going to complain. So I just wanted to come on and I had some family stuff already today, but I just wanted to come on and do a short video addressing some stuff that's come out recently. Some videos that are coming out recently that I thought, oh my gosh, I gotta say something about this. There's a couple of videos that are trying to say things, compare Trump to the Antichrist or Hitler or something like that. And I've worked very closely with, because I've been a whistleblower for many years. Like I've said, I drove to Trump Tower in 2016, December 2016, and I got him the information about what was happening in Arizona. So then I've had a correspondence and a contact ever since, and the stuff that has been going on behind the scenes is so intense, that there's so much that people don't know of how close we were to losing our country. There's so many things that he did to save the country that I just have to say something. I have to get people to understand that, just because, okay, so the one guy was saying, because he's in a certain Bavarian bloodline or something, maybe that's why his father, he was born into wealth, I guess, but that doesn't mean, just because you're born into an Illuminati family doesn't mean that you're going to be the same, because I have my friend Penny Shepard. She's now on a radio show, and she was born into an Illuminati family, and now she's exposing the Illuminati family. She's using her. She was actually under mind control for many years and couldn't remember some of her memories. This is what they do to the children, and then later in her late mid-50s she started remembering, and now she's trying to warn and help other people who were born into that type of thing. So it doesn't always mean that you're evil. And then there's another girl that was born into an Illuminati family. She was actually born in an underground, she was born in an underground facility, she was like a test tube baby, in an Illuminati family. She was born into an evil bloodline, but she's a Christian, and she talks about it on radio shows too. Her name is Holly Baglio. So it doesn't always mean, just because you're in a certain bloodline, it doesn't mean that you're going to be evil just like them. And so I just wanted to touch on that. But so here's some of the things that I got from President Trump, just so you know who I am, or just some acknowledgement that I got from them for my correspondence and my information that I'd been giving them over the years. Arizona and just some other things about different other military bases. I actually am also was the one who told him about the incident at Montham Air Force Base in Montana, where the Global Strike Command, there was some kind of really weird incident where a nuke almost went off. We don't know if it was they were trying to steal a nuke or if it was an accident or what. But then Trump went and did a tour of all the Global Strike Commands, the Air Force bases, and made sure they were all secure so that it didn't happen again. So I've been trying to do my part, as much as I knew, to, help him understand some of the things that were happening when I was in and that I heard about. So anyway, I got this from him, and this was I have these at my house in a plaques, but this is a Presidential Honor Roll that I got from him in 2008, signed by President Trump. Okay, and then I got certificate of nomination, Trump Make America Great Again, Team 2020. Okay, Team 2020 South Dakota. Okay, I got that. Team 2020 South Dakota. That was another certificate that I got from him, and was helping with different things in South Dakota, and and then I got just something that says, Dear Debbie Davis, this is from him and Melania. It's signed by him and Melania. Thank you for your friendship and dedication to our cause. Grassroots leadership like you are essential for fulfilling our bold agenda to make America great again. Thank you and best wishes, President Trump and Melania. Okay? From, grassroots leadership. Thank you for your leadership. That's from him and Melania. So, these were just, to me, these were really special to get, signed by the president. So, you think, that's a really cool thing when you have the president sending you something like this that you can put on your wall. And so I was very appreciative of that, and then so I just wanted to point out, because as a Christian, if somebody thinks that you're trying to, just because they're trying to say certain things on some of these, certain things align on the Trump Tower, or, I don't know, but okay, this, you have to, almost every single thing that he voted for was in alignment with God's values, not Antichrist. And he was going after the human trafficking. He wasn't a part of the satanic agenda. He was going after the satanic agenda. He went after the tunnels. He saved the kids in the tunnels. Many, and that's the only president that I've ever heard of that even tried to address that situation. And he was going in and cleaning up the tunnels, because the stuff that's going on in these tunnels is so demonic and gross that's really where a lot of things had to be cleaned up. And so so that's, if he was a part of all this demonic stuff, he wouldn't be there cleaning it up, saving the children. Okay, so so he voted to reverse Roe versus Wade, reverse. He's always votes pro-life, not pro-abortion. He voted to eliminate. He eliminated the ISIS terrorists. Took out the head guy, and they were a completely demonic organization. And then and I have talked about this. It was John McCain that turned out to be funding them, and it was that's one of the things that apparently was, I guess some of the funding was coming from Arizona. This all has to come out eventually here, but that's one. But that was a totally demonic organization, killing innocent Christians all over the Middle East. Just for no reason. Just murdering Christians and raping women and stuff like that. Just pure evil. And he wiped them out. So, and then when I was in, well, as a veteran, when he was in, I had he had given us this 800 number that we could call at the VA hospitals, where if we had a bad experience with a doctor, and because there was a lot of bad doctors that got into the VA, that started working at the VA under Obama. There was they didn't, they were from different countries in the Middle East or wherever. They hardly even spoke the language, and they didn't even like Americans. And here they're working at the VA, and they're not even from our country, and they didn't even seem like they liked us, and they were treating us badly. And so we had he had provided us an 800 number that we could call and report these bad doctors that were mistreating us. And I mean, there was like a couple thousand that were removed under his administration that needed to be removed, that were mistreating the veterans. I mean, they needed, the VA needed to be cleaned up. It was becoming really bad, the mistreatment. I mean, I had this one experience, where, I just got basically turned away and not treated at all, for just like a minor infection. It's like she just like didn't even didn't treat me. And so I had to go somewhere else. I had to go to a different hospital. I mean, so that's another thing he did. And oh yeah, and then he also, so then I've talked about this before too, and he also got back all of our gold that had been disappearing over the years from Fort Knox. Our gold reserves that were supposed to be in Fort Knox over the years, that has been disappearing over the years from the Bushes and the Clintons. That was supposed to be our reserves for our dollar, and it was our gold reserves, our gold-backed dollar. And, they had, under the Bushes and the Clintons, they had been stealing it for years, and it was found in the tunnels in the Vatican. He got all of that back. I've talked about this on my channel. He also got us out of the illegal corporation that they that they put our country into in 1871, because so our country was founded in 1776, Declaration of Independence. It was called the Republic of the United States, and it was broken away from Britain, and it was a new republic. It was and it wasn't a U.S. corporation. It was a republic. And but then they tried in 1871. Whoever did this, I don't know exactly, but they made our country into a corporation with London and the Vatican, and like our banks aligned with them, and they made it. They have this secret corporation going on that we have to pay taxes into, that that are secret things going on with London and the Vatican, not just our country, that we're paying taxes into. And so so he dissolved the U.S. corporation and brought us back to a republic. Okay, so we are no longer a U.S. corporation. I've talked about this. President Biden is basically just the president of a bankrupted corporation. Okay, so it doesn't really have much power. I've talked about this before. It's hard to, it's a complicated situation. But then the other thing is that they were talking about the Abrahamic Accord. It's like, okay, what is he trying to do here in the Middle East with this Abrahamic Accord? Okay, so the Abrahamic Accord, my understanding is that he had just, the Sunnis and the Shiites have been fighting for thousands of years over in Iraq. And I learned this when I was deployed too. I mean, it's just, there's constant wars over there. And it's just, it's for, apparently there's slight differences in their religious beliefs between the Sunnis and the Shiites. Okay, and so because of their slight differences, it's kind of like a gang battle, like they're like fighting like a gang battle between two gangs or something that's been going on for like thousands of years. And but what he did is he basically because of him researching his own bloodline and the different bloodlines, he found out that their blood, that they were actually cousins, the Sunnis and the Shiites, and that, made them realize that you're actually fighting with your own cousins. So, why don't you, why are you fighting with your own cousins? Why are you fighting with your own family? Try to have some peace with your own cousin. And so it basically just, that's all it is, that he just made them realize that we're in that, that they're in that Abrahamic, like Ishmael bloodline. They're all in that area, and they're cousins in that. They're not from the Isaac, they're from the Ishmael, I think. Okay, but they're cousins in that bloodline. Abraham, Ishmael. I think that's all it is basically he was just trying to make them realize that it doesn't make any sense that you're fighting with your own family all these years. It's your own cousins. Okay, so that's all it is. It's not it, and so it created peace because they were just realizing how it didn't make any sense, that they were fighting with their own family. So that's all it is. I mean, it's just because I don't think people really understand what exactly what he was doing there, and so that's what I learned about it because I've been studying my own bloodline too, and so I know it has to do with some of the research that was done about the bloodlines and stuff. So okay, so all right, so I hope everybody had a good Christmas Eve, and it has a good Christmas here and holiday. And so I just wanted to come on and do this short video to just explain a couple things that are coming out. I mean, because it's just like, there's just constant spiritual warfare and constant stuff coming up that, and they just won't stop, coming after with different angles. They just get, this angle didn't work, so let's try this angle. Okay, so so I have to I'm just trying to, because there's a lot of things that I know that I've learned over the years, as a whistleblower and working with, working closely with, a lot of the situations here that I've learned. So I just wanted to share this. Okay, thank you. God bless.